Hello everybody, this is Brian with Vermillion Enterprises. Today is May 2nd, 2025, and it is Friday, going into the weekend here, and I thought we would do a video, not a premiums or inventory update video, but kind of just talk about what's going on, answer some questions, and respond to some comments that people have left on our recent video. And just go over some things. Hopefully it'll be entertaining for you guys and gals. Yeah, I figure that's what we do. First of all, what is going on in the industry? People are dumping gold like crazy. Scrap gold, gold coins, gold bullion. Last month, month of April was one of our best months on paper ever. And it was largely due to the liquidation of gold, coins, bullion, and jewelry. And so kind of as a little demo here on that note, I have 4 piles of scrap gold out here. This is gold that a customer dropped off last night. I processed it this morning for him and got him taken care of. So I figured we'd go over it today and just kind of show you what you're looking at in gold jewelry, scrap gold is what I call it, and what kind of value you have. So you got 4 piles here. What are the 4 piles represent? Different carats of gold. We got 8 carat, 10 carat, 14 carat, and 18 carat gold. So why are they separated in different piles? Well, each carat of gold has different levels of gold in it. 8 carat gold's 33.3% gold. 10 carat gold's 41.7% gold. 14 karat gold's 58.3% gold. And 18 karat gold is 75% gold. If you're unsure about the percentage of gold in carated jewelry, all you got to do is take the carat and divide that into 24, because pure gold is 24 karat. So 10 divided into or 24 divided by 10 is what? 0.417. There you go. So that's simple. That's how you figure it out. All right. So this little pile of 8 karat gold weighs 2.5 pennyweight. That means there's $136 worth of gold there. All right. This is 10 karat gold. This little pile here weighs 56.1 pennyweight. That means there's $3,817 worth of gold right there. That's actual gold value. And that's with gold at $3,263, which is about where it was when we made this video. This is 14 karat gold, 112.6 pennyweight. This pile of gold here is $10,710. And then we got your 8 karat gold. That little pile of gold there is 6.7 pennyweight. That's $820 worth of gold. So out on the on the table here is $15,483 worth of gold. Now again, that's with gold at $3,263 per ounce. Now we pay 90% of value here at Vermillion Enterprises for scrap gold. So you got $15,483 worth of scrap gold here. If you times that by 0.9, which represents 90%, your take on this, if you were to sell it to us, would be $13,935. So that's what a customer who would be selling this to us would get for this amount of gold right here, with gold being at $3,263. So, and a lot of people have this kind of material laying around in their jewelry boxes, just sitting there, unbeknownst to them what kind of real true stored value is there. Now we oftentimes just turn this into cash for folks. So in carated gold, if you just want cash, that's fine. But we also will convert this into stackable precious metals for people, because a lot of individuals want to keep their wealth, keep their assets in gold or silver or platinum, but don't want this confusion laying around in their jewelry box. So they'll turn this into either stackable precious metals or cash. So, hey, I got this pile of gold here. I still want to have gold in my possession, but I don't want all this craziness here. Let me turn this into gold eagles, for example, or let me turn it into silver eagles. 10-ounce silver bars, whatever it may be. They want to keep their wealth in metals, but they don't want all this mess laying around. We're happy to do that. We take it in at 90% of its value. So why 90% of its value? Well, we get basically, when it's all said and done, 95 to 97% of its true value from the refineries after the melts actually come back. So we're making 5 to 7%. But we also have to hold this material for 30 days by law here in the state of Florida before we can sell it to the refinery. So there is a 30-day hold period. And as I've said in the past, when we've done these kind of videos, these are considered secondhand goods in the state of Florida, just like sterling silver, flatware, hollowware, baseball cards, watches, rifles, all that type of material is considered secondhand goods in the state of Florida. That's why we have to have a copy of your driver's license or state ID card at the time of the transaction, because we actually have paperwork we have to do to satisfy our legal requirements as a registered secondhand dealer in the state of Florida. And that paperwork goes to our local sheriff's department. They're checking to make sure that these items that we are purchasing across the counter are not stolen. So that is why we have to do all that. And we have to hold these items for 30 days by law. In case they are stolen, that gives law enforcement the applicable amount of time to get the product back to the victims. So that's how that whole process works. But you look at this little bit of mess here is worth $15,483. Right now when gold's at $3,263. It's not bad. So you can turn that into, what, about 4 gold eagles. Now you think about that. This mess right here, or a stack of 4 1-ounce gold eagles. Not a hard decision to make in my book. So figured I would go over that. We buy a lot of scrap gold in the scheme of things from folks and dealers across the central Florida, even northern and southern Florida too. So a lot of people come in and take advantage of that 90% rate. And if there's anything we can ever help you with in that regards, we're always happy to do so. Just please make sure when you come in or mail it in, there is you have your driver's license with the product, or state ID card. Either will work. All right, folks. So now we're going to do a couple things. One, I want to tell you about a scary situation that happened to another dealer yesterday. Hold on a second here. All right. So another dealer, I'm not going to say his name, bought some gold bars, just some PAMP, Perth Mint gold bars, just like you've seen millions of them, right? Bought them across the counter, verified them using his Sigma with the Bullion attachment. So it's not the basic Sigma, it's the step-up Sigma. I'm not sure what they actually call it. He showed the pictures online of it with that Sigma machine verifying that the gold bars were legit. And oh boy, he got burned, guys. The bars were not, turned out not to be legitimate at all. Unfortunately, verified them using the Sigma and paid the customer based on the Sigma, verifying that the bars were correct. Later on, when they actually got to processing the bars, getting them ready for market, they found out that the Sigma was giving a false positive, and they lost a shit ton of money. So this is why two things come out of this. This is why when you guys and gals have come into my shop and have sold me gold bars, you see me, we verify figure out what the price is that we're going to pay. We pay 98% on gold bars up to 100 grams in size. And then you see me physically cut them out of the packaging, even after the Sigma says that they're good. And the reason being is these machines, guys, XRFs, Sigmas, they can all be fooled. All right, and it appears that the fraudsters out there have figured out the perfect solution of alloys, whatever you want to call it, mixture of alloys that are not gold to fool the Sigma. And so this dealer got burned. He's out thousands. All right, and that absolutely sucks for that dealer. And unfortunately, it's a loss. It's a huge loss. And that gets me to the second thing, is that's why we don't sell bars out of our shop, because there are so many fake bars floating around, and unfortunately they are getting more and more deceptive in their ability to pass tests. But what do they not pass? You cut those things out and you do an acid test on them, you rub them, they never pass that. So that's why when you guys and gals bring in gold bars to us, that's why we cut them out of the packaging and we actually verify them as we would scrap gold jewelry, because that is something that plated copper or plated tungsten, whatever it may be, will not pass. So that is that scenario. Now, there's a lot of online dealers and sellers who verify their product using these Sigma machines. So if you are buying gold bars from these places, you might want to get verification from them that these are not secondary bars, that these are actually bars directly from PAMP or directly from Perth Mint, not from a secondary source where they bought them from a customer and then sent them back out into the world. All right, so you may keep that in mind. You may want to get verification from the distributor that, hey, are these direct from the source of production, or are these bars that you bought secondary and are reselling? If they are reselling secondary bars, be careful, guys and gals, because if they're using Sigmas, which I know for a fact that some are, I've seen their videos promoting it. They could be getting false positives. All right, so and these bars are just a nightmare. When we get the 5 ounce and the 10 ounce and the bigger bars, we won't even buy them outright. We send them off to the refineries first, get them assayed, make sure that they're legit from there before we pay out on them, because they're just a nightmare. All right, so that's a PSA from something that I saw happen in in one of the dealer forums that I belong to last night. So I thought I would share that with you guys and gals. Now, we've had a couple of fun videos that we did over the last week and got some interesting and fun questions and comments from them. And so I thought we would respond to those, see if you guys find them interesting. If you do, comment. If you got other questions, please post them in the thread of this video. And if we think that there's something that the viewership would be interested in hearing our response of, we'll do another video like this. We do these from time to time. So some of them are, they're going to be fun, quirky. Some are going to be kind of straight up business related. So let's dig in here, Tim. First of all, here's one that's just kind of fun. Karim IK5IJ asks, what games do you play on your gaming laptop? I have a MSI computer. It is a gaming laptop. I don't play any video games. I like gaming laptops because they are super fast, can take a punch, and typically have a bigger screen. So that's why I've always had Alienware, Omens. Now I'm using an MSI. And that's what I usually always stick with, just because of speed. I do not play video games on them though. But if you guys want fast systems, big screens, I recommend definitely checking out MSI, Omen, Alienware. I kind of prefer the Omen or the MSI over the Alienware. Personally, I thought the Alienware was not up to par with the Omen and this MSI. I love this MSI. It's great. So that answers that. Eric, Eric1452. He posted a comment the other day. We were talking about, in the video that he left this comment for, about trading in non-precious metals items like baseball cards, watches, that type of thing, in for stackable precious metals, and some of the benefits of doing that. And so Eric1452 left a comment here that I thought was very germane to the conversation. He said, I had a very extensive and expensive collection of obsolete and colonial paper money. And some of that material is super neat. If you ever had a chance to look at it or collect it, you'll see some really odd material, some very interesting artwork in it. Some of it's quite beautiful. He goes on to say, no one in my family had any interest in it, so I sold almost all of it in a series of heritage auctions. Heritage auctions is a great place for that if you have the time to wait, or if you care. If I died prior to selling it, they would have had no idea what they had and probably would have taken a big loss on it. Overall, the obsolete and colonial paper money values are not as strong as they used to be. All collectibles are down, folks. It doesn't, except for like truly holy grail material. Like if you got 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle cards that only trajectory upwards. I think even Michael Jordan rookie cards have kind of trajectory is down or at least flat at this. But Holy Grail material only goes up. If you got some very classic Babe Ruth cards, for example, they only go one direction. But as a whole, your mid to your collectibles from your low level, mid level, even to your getting to the higher levels are down right now, and that's just because of the economy. The collectibles do this just like anything else. Gold's up, collectibles down. But let's see. What else? Okay, he goes, I did okay selling it, but I would have done much better buying generic gold with the money. So what he's saying is, if I would have just bought gold instead of this collectible currency in the long run, I would have done much better, of course. But since I bought a lot of the collection in the early 2000s when gold was less than $300 per ounce. So the overall crux of what he is saying here is, yeah, long term, I would have done better if I bought gold. I mean, okay, that's all right, but at the end of the day, he saw the writing on the wall and the fact that, okay, his family members who may inherit this collection, one, just don't appreciate it, right? And two, won't even care about it. It's not their collection. They didn't put the time into it. They didn't educate themselves about it. They would have literally, and I've seen this happen a billion times, folks, taken it someplace and just been like, hey, this was left to me, I want to sell it, and just would have gotten whatever money was given to them and went on their way and never thought twice about it, whether they got a good deal on it or they got ripped. It's they just would not have cared. They would have just taken money. Oh, great, Grandpa, we got some money from Grandpa's collection. Great, he did right by us. Whether it was the right money or the wrong money, they would never know or care. So he did the right thing. He was proactive. He sold his collection and got the right money for it. And moved on with life. He can either just turn that money, put it into something where the money is available when his time comes, or he can put that money into stackable precious metals that are easy to convert, easy to figure out, like 1 ounce gold eagles, 1 ounce American silver eagle, something like that, where all you have to do is look online, go to Google, type in what is the spot price of gold, and Google will tell you, or the spot price of silver, and then it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out, okay, I got an ounce of gold here. Google tells me it's $3,263 today. I should be able to get $3,263 for this, or thereabouts, right? So it's not rocket sciences. When you have a piece of obsolete paper money, graded, not graded, it becomes very, very, very subjective in what it's worth and what someone is willing to pay you for it. So kudos to Eric. He did the right thing there, something that we always have been talking about and preaching here on this YouTube station. All right, let's see. Dr. Jack 144 asks, this is in the same video, he's curious how I feel about stocks after watching our video. He says stock value / prices are 100% objective. I'm not so sure about that, but I'll go with it. They require no storage space or security against theft. I'm not so sure about the security against theft. Storage space, yeah, of course, he's 100% right on that. You translate that over to the physical precious metals, yeah, you got to make sure it's securely stored, right? That's serious business, and you gotta have it securely stored, right? But that storage typically does take up space. He's 100% right, especially if you get into silver. So he's right about that. He says stock values prices are objective. Maybe. He says there's tax advantages to them. Well, that definitely can be the case. I know that. Definitely not versed in accounting. But yes, there are definitely some advantages that can be taken on a tax basis there. Same with precious metals, though. I won't get into that, but people who stack precious metals understand what I'm saying without saying it. And so do I see the stock market as a competitor or complementary to dollars, which someone is also putting towards metals? And I don't see it as a competitor. People are going to either diversify or they're not going to diversify. I know stackers who are 100% against anything that's not physical. So that would be the stock market, for example. They only believe in physical. And typically that includes gold, silver, typically includes food, ammunition, firearms, all that type of material, and sometimes even stones. And then I also know the people who are very well diversified. They have a very, very regimented portfolio. They have X number or X percentage of dollars in stocks, for example, CDs, treasuries, precious metals, and so forth, other physicals. So I know the whole gamut there. Is it a competition? I don't see it as that. I think people are going to do what they're going to do, and definitely don't feel there's a level of competition at the counter in a way of that. In fact, I think it actually helps our business because, you know, in the last 2 years, we've seen an explosion of cryptocurrencies on the market. And a lot of people have gotten in and out of the precious metals market because of their interest in cryptocurrency. I'll leave it at that. So people will have either sold and take profits from their cryptocurrency markets, and then come and turn that profit into gold, or they will have come in and sold their gold or silver and turn that into crypto. And so I think looking at it that way, yeah, I think it actually helps our industry. And I would say that's more of an issue than someone, say, buying the S&P. I think occasionally that happens. Someone will come in and dump gold to go buy stocks. Not as often, though. It's more related. I think gold and crypto is more hand in hand than people dealing in the stock market. So, anecdotally, I think that's accurate. So definitely don't see it as a competition. To answer Dr. Jack's question here, I think it is more complementary when it comes to business here in the store. So great question. And on a personal level, you know, I've said this a million times on this channel. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. So I'm a physical kind of guy. So it's you know, I understand there's a place for CDs, there's a place for treasuries. Stock market, I don't deal with or believe in the stock market at all on a personal level. But you know, a lot of people do and have done well with it. A lot of people have not done so well with it. But stocks I definitely stay away from. But and again, this is an advice. You know, all entertainment or all material on YouTube is for entertainment purposes only. All right, David F3883 asks, this is pertaining to that video we did regarding sports memorabilia. So I'm a baseball guy for family memories and the sport. God himself only knows how much money I put into them as a kid, and they went right into the sprockets of my bike. He's talking about buying baseball cards and then putting them in the spokes of his bike. Ryan, don't you think Mickey Mantle has some kind of interest from baseball card and baseball fans that is unique? Yes, but that's waning. You know, Mickey Mantle is, you know, you talk to most, I would say, people under the age of 30 who are not diehard fans, but maybe fans of the local team. They can't even tell you who Mickey Mantle is. Couldn't tell you who he played for, when he played. May have heard of the name, but that's the extent of it. We see the same thing in football. You know, I would say most people under the age of 30 don't even know who Joe Montana is at this point. So it's just as generations come and go, older generations kind of get you know, forgotten about. I guarantee you less than 1% of the casual baseball fan knows who Shoeless Joe Jackson is. Guarantee you less than 1%. Probably even less than 0.1%. And he's one of the most, what he did was one of the most influential things in the game of baseball. So it's, as generations come and go, older generations just get forgotten about. The thing I'll say about Mickey Mantle, and then he goes on to talk about Babe Ruth too, is that the diehard collectors, who also typically are the collectors or investors, whatever you want to call them, are the ones that have money, and they understand the value of a 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle card and have no problems spending $100, to $500,000 on the card because they understand, hey, that's actually an investment that trends upward. So I think that's the difference. That's why those classic cards like that still maintain their value, because the 1% of the population out there that knows and understands those collectibles have money and understand what it means to diversify. You buy a 52 tops mantle, that's basically the equivalent of buying gold. It's something that you can count on down the road to turn in. It's going to hold its value or go up in value. It probably does outpace inflation, so it's a good investment strategy. Not all baseball cards are like that, though. Not all Mickey Mantle cards are like that. I would imagine that like a 67, 68, 69 tops, or not, yeah, 69 tops mantle all have gone downwards over the years, especially since the spike in COVID. So I don't know that for a fact, but I bet those cards have trended downwards. But the early classic, heirloom style collectibles like that, yeah, they go upwards. But it takes big money, and those people have the money and they understand it. So a great commentary from David there. All right, we also talked about, I remember it was in the last video or in the video before our last video, about a local store here in town. Not actually in town, but in our area here, who has now put on their landing page that they are taking 6 weeks to pay for material that's being dropped off to them. That screams problems. And so Terawatt Year posted in regards to that, they mentioned the Hans Tulving situation around 2012 or so, where it was a well-known at the time broker in precious metals, and they just went belly up overnight. And a lot of people got taken advantage of. There's multiple examples of this: Northwest Territories, Republic Metals. There's others too we're not going to get into, where a lot of people had money there waiting on product to be delivered or to get paid for product that they had shipped in, and those companies just disappeared literally overnight, screwing a whole bunch of people, unfortunately. And whenever we see situations where dealers are writing checks that they say, hey, you got to wait 1 to 2 weeks to cash this, or where they're literally saying, hey, you drop off your material and then we'll pay you in X number of days or weeks, be very, very cautious with that, folks. I'm not telling you not to do business with those folks, but I'm just telling you, be very cautious with that. And to bring that full circle back to Vermillion Enterprises, just understand that if I write you a check, slam that check, get it into your bank account. I will not write a check that can't be covered. So please, just keep that in mind, all right? With gold at $3,200 an ounce or whatever it is, when you're selling ounces of gold, you got to assume at this point you're going to get paid by check. All right, it's just the reality is banks don't carry cash like they used to. It's like pulling teeth getting any kind of level of cash out of the bank anymore. And if you have tried pulling cash out of the bank, you know this firsthand. It's no different for us. So you have to assume at this point you're going to get a check if you're selling bullion. All right, so just understand that there's logistics that go into that, but here at Vermillion Enterprises, we will not write you a check that you cannot just cash or slam into your bank right then and there. So just keep that in mind. They go on and say some other things, but the crux of the message was, there's been some really horrible actual events that have happened in the industry where a lot of good people got screwed. A good friend of mine got tied up in the Northwest Territories debacle. He was never made whole. He lost like 1,500 ounces of silver in that. Another acquaintance of mine, he got burned in the Republic Metals collapse. He lost a bunch of scrap metal because they were refining metals. He lost a bunch of scrap gold that he had sent in, and then they went belly up before they paid him. So they got his gold, and he didn't get his money. So and it was substantial. I think it was like 70 grand worth of gold. So there's some real bad horror stories out there, and there's a number of others. So feel free to comment in the video here. I'm going to cut it off here. It looks like we're getting close to open here, and I can see people already lining up in the parking lot. So it's going to be crazy busy today. So feel free to comment in the and below in the thread here. Personal stories, situations you've been exposed to where things went sideways. Always interested to hear about that. And also those can be good learning experiences for people who haven't had bad issues yet, and kind of tell people what red flags are. All right. In dealing with your precious metals. I've always said this too, and it's super easy to buy metal, right? You come into the store, you throw your money down on the counter, give me this. No problem, here you go. Here's your metal, here's things for cash, here's your metal. And then when it comes time to sell it though, not always as easy. So keep that in mind. That's something that we try to, that's something I try to strive for here at Vermillion Enterprises. I keep everything as transparent as possible. There shouldn't be too many questions when it comes to doing business with us. We try to put everything out on the table so you guys can see it right for yourselves before you come in or do business with us. That way, it really does minimize questions, which minimizes my time being directed away from making money. So that is what is crucial to me, folks. Hey, so if there is anything we can do for you, please reach out to the shop. We'll be happy to help. I am Brian with Vermillion Enterprises, and today is May 2nd, 2025. Feel free to comment, ask questions, give us stories, give us examples of things that you have gone through that you think others will benefit from knowing. Just please keep it civil, keep it polite, and you have a good day. Thank you very much.